Well, good morning, everybody. Today's going to be a short day too. I'm going to head up to my mother-in-law's to deliver some food to her. She's elderly, and we want to make sure that she has a good hot meal. So I tend to freeze meals, and then we take them up to her to make sure that she eats well every night. So at any rate, I'm going to do a little bit of edging around the landscaping. I got a new edger. I've repaired my old one that was probably 30 years old, maybe 5 times. And what would happen is the edger only had about this much metal, and it would always break right here. So this one has a much longer, and the chances of it breaking up clear up here where it's so thick is slim. So I thought it was time to invest in one. So we'll get started, and again, we'll see how much I want to do. What I have to be careful about is the invisible fence line. And as I was digging there, I came across it. And it's probably about 3 inches from the edge. So I'm trying to decide, do I want to sort of continue with this edge that I have, or make a bigger one so that I get further away from the wire. But then what happens is you forget where the wire is or how far, and then when you start digging to put another plant in, you catch the wire. So that's what I'm sort of playing with now. What I should have done, but I didn't know anything about invisible fencing then, was put it clear around the landscaping, quite a distance. Invisible fence said, when you go through landscaping, just leave the wire on top so you can see it. Well, what happens over years, the plants grow, it gets caught in the weed eater. I think 2 years ago, I had 7 breaks in the wire because I kept hitting it. I didn't know where it was. It gets moved. See how you get a nice edge around your landscaping. Now, I'm just going to use weed killer on the stuff to the right of the edging line where it had grown in. Now I'm stopping here and going somewhere else until I can get the collar out here, because somewhere the invisible fence line that comes around that big maple comes around here and then goes into the landscaping. However, I can't remember. I thought I would remember since we just did it in the fall. However, I cannot remember where it crosses over into the landscaping. So I'm just going to go down further so I don't hit that wire. I've been going through slowly because I know the wire, the invisible fence wire, crosses over from here into the landscaping somewhere. You know, I thought I'd remember it, I didn't. So I'm going nice and slow so I don't cut it. I thought I had cut it when I found this, but that's the old wire that we couldn't find. So I'll just dig a little at a time here and see what I can find. Okay, I found it. I'm surprised that they didn't put conduit when they laid this. I would have. Now, you know, I can splice the wire, stick conduit in there, but I think what I'm going to do, dig this down like this. I'll put this somewhere like this and put a rock over this. I'll put a rock over this so that whenever you're edging, you'll hit that rock. Surely I'll remember that there's wire underneath that rock. Of course, I can always put some caution tape too on top of the rock, which I think is what I'll do. And then I won't have to worry about it in future years, because obviously I knew about where it was. All right, sounds like a plan. I'll go get a rock. Okay, I think that's gonna work. Some kid 50 years from now will dig it up and think it's a treasure. Well, my self-reliant peeps, I'm done. I went and did a little more after I cooled down, and I'll show you the finished you know, I still have a little more to do on that, but I find that when I get bored or tired, it's time to quit, and so that's what I'm going to do for today. I'm going to cool down, take a shower, and that'll be it. It's amazing, even though there's this breeze, it's so humid, and I'm pretty sweaty. So I'll take a shower, we'll go and take care of the food, and then come back and rest. So have a good day, my peeps. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.